Have you ever wondered about the rivalry between Coca-Cola and Pepsi? Today, we're diving deep into the fizz-filled history of these two beverage giants. Imagine a world without the sweet, bubbly sensation of a cold soda on a hot day, or the satisfying crackle of a can opening at a party. It's hard, isn't it? That's because whether you're Team Coca-Cola or Team Pepsi, these two titans of taste have become an integral part of our lives. They are more than just thirst quenchers. They are cultural icons, symbols of lifestyle, and quite frankly, the reason behind some of the most heated debates at backyard barbecues. But how did it all begin? Who came up with the idea of mixing syrup with carbonated water? And why? And how did these two brands, born from the same basic idea, end up as the bitter rivals we know today? Over the next 15 minutes, we'll be exploring these questions and more. We'll start with the humble origins of these soft drink behemoths, delving into the stories of how a pharmacist in Atlanta came up with the recipe for Coca-Cola, and how, almost a decade later, another pharmacist in North Carolina created Pepsi. We'll then take you through the evolution of their recipes, from the original concoctions to the multitude of flavors we see on the shelves today. We'll also look at how their marketing strategies have played a major role in shaping not only their rivalry, but also our perceptions of them. From the infamous Cola Wars of the 1980s to the current battle for market supremacy, we'll examine the strategies used by both brands to outdo each other and win over the hearts and taste buds of consumers around the globe. So grab a soda, sit back, and get ready for a refreshing journey through time. It all started in 1886, in the bustling city of Atlanta, Georgia. In this southern gem, a man named John Stith Pemberton, a pharmacist by trade, was about to concoct a beverage that would revolutionize the world of soft drinks. Pemberton was known for his curiosity and innovative spirit in the world of chemistry. He had been experimenting with coca leaves and cola nuts, ingredients known for their stimulating properties. His intention was to create a tonic to help his customers cope with ailments like headaches and fatigue. Little did he know he was about to stumble upon something much bigger. One sunny afternoon, Pemberton mixed his Coca-Cola syrup with carbonated water, creating a delightful fizz. He sampled the concoction, and his eyes lit up with surprise and satisfaction. The taste was unique, refreshing, and invigorating. He knew he had something special in his hands. Pemberton decided to sell his creation at Jacob's Pharmacy, where curious customers could buy a glass for just 5 cents. The reception was lukewarm at first. In the first year, the average sales were a modest 9 servings a day across the entire city of Atlanta. But Pemberton was not discouraged. He believed in the potential of his creation. Over time, the popularity of the drink began to grow, thanks to Pemberton's marketing efforts and the unique taste of the beverage. Word of mouth spread, and soon people all over Atlanta were flocking to try this new Coca-Cola. Pemberton, unfortunately, would not live to see the immense success of his creation. He passed away just 2 years after the inception of Coca-Cola, but his legacy lived on. The formula he crafted was safeguarded and passed on, paving the way for the Coca-Cola we know and love today. Little did Pemberton know, his creation would spark a rivalry that would span over a century. His humble pharmacist's tonic was about to become one half of the greatest soda showdown in history. Just 7 years later, in the small town of New Bern, North Carolina, a new contender entered the ring. This challenger was none other than Pepsi, invented by Caleb Bradham, a pharmacist just like Coca-Cola's inventor John Pemberton. Caleb Bradham, a young man with a vision, began experimenting with various mixtures of spices, juices, and syrups, aiming to create a refreshing drink that would also aid digestion and boost energy. Sound familiar? It seems pharmacists in the late 19th century had a knack for mixing up medicinal beverages. In 1893, Bradham stumbled upon a formula he believed was just right. He combined carbonated water with the sweet, tangy flavor of pepsin and cola nut extract. The result was a fizzy, delightful drink he initially dubbed Brad's Drink. However, by 1898, Bradham decided his creation deserved a name as invigorating as its taste. Thus, Pepsi Cola was born, a nod to the digestive enzyme pepsin and the cola nut used in its recipe. With its new name, Pepsi Cola quickly gained popularity. Bradham's customers found the drink not only delicious, but also rejuvenating. Its fame began to spread, reaching beyond the boundaries of New Bern. Within a short period, Bradham started selling his drink in 6-ounce bottles, and Pepsi Cola began to appear in general stores across North Carolina. Although it had a late start compared to its primary competitor, Coca-Cola, Pepsi Cola was off to a promising beginning. Its unique flavor and supposed health benefits made it a hit among the public, and its inventor's ambitious spirit signaled that this was a brand ready to make its mark in the world of carbonated beverages. However, little did Bradham or his customers know that this was just the beginning of an epic rivalry, one that would span over a century and redefine the global soft drink industry. And so the stage was set for a battle of the beverages. As both companies grew, so did their rivalry. The Cola Wars, as they came to be known, were more than just a competition between two beverage giants. It was a battle for the taste buds and loyalty of consumers worldwide. Coca-Cola, the older of the two companies, had always held a strong presence in the market. However, Pepsi was not one to back down easily. Both companies invested heavily in advertising campaigns, each trying to outdo the other with catchy slogans, celebrity endorsements, and innovative commercials. A key moment in this rivalry was the Pepsi Challenge. In the late 70s, Pepsi launched a campaign where they invited people to take a blind taste test. Participants were asked to sample two unnamed cola drinks, one being Coca-Cola and the other Pepsi. The majority of the people chose Pepsi, leading to a marketing triumph for the company. Not to be outdone, Coca-Cola responded with a dramatic move. In 1985, they introduced New Coke, a reformulated version of their classic drink. The company hoped that the new taste would win over Pepsi drinkers. However, the public reaction was overwhelmingly negative. People wanted their old Coke back, and the company was forced to revert to the original formula. Despite this misstep, Coca-Cola continued to hold a significant share of the market, but Pepsi was not far behind. The two companies continued to innovate and adapt, always trying to stay one step ahead of the other. The rivalry between Coca-Cola and Pepsi was not just about who could sell more soda. It was a battle of ideas, a competition to see who could better understand the desires of the consumer. Each company wanted to be the one to quench the world's thirst, to be the drink of choice in homes, restaurants, and vending machines across the globe. The Cola Wars were in full swing, and there was no end in sight. Over the years, both Coca-Cola and Pepsi have evolved in more ways than one. From their humble beginnings, both drinks have seen alterations in their recipes. Coca-Cola, initially a patent medicine in the late 19th century, has refined its secret formula, known as Merchandise 7X. While the core ingredients remain the same, certain tweaks have been made over the years to adapt to changing tastes and health concerns. Pepsi, on the other hand, originally known as Brad's drink, has also undergone recipe changes. Most notably, the switch from sugar to high-fructose corn syrup, a move largely driven by cost and supply considerations. It's not just the recipes that have evolved, but their branding and advertising strategies too. Coca-Cola has always emphasized the emotional connection, creating a sense of nostalgia and happiness. Who can forget their iconic Santa Claus adverts or the "I'd like to buy the world a Coke" campaign? Pepsi, however, has traditionally targeted the younger generation. Remember the Pepsi Generation campaign or their trend of partnering with pop culture icons like Michael Jackson and Britney Spears? Beyond the colas, both companies have diversified their product lines significantly. Coca-Cola now has a portfolio that includes tea, coffee, water, and even dairy products. PepsiCo, while also expanding in the beverage sector, has made a remarkable entry into the food market, with brands like Frito-Lay and Quaker making up a significant part of their business. In essence, both Coca-Cola and Pepsi have proven to be more than just cola companies. They've become global beverage and food giants, continually adapting and evolving. Yet, despite these changes and their fierce rivalry, both companies have remained true to their roots. Coca-Cola still aims to refresh the world and make a difference, and Pepsi continues to embody the spirit of youth and excitement. Despite their differences, both companies have remained true to their roots. Fast forward to today, and the Cola Wars are still raging. The rivalry that began more than a century ago persists, as both Coca-Cola and Pepsi continue to jostle for the top spot in the global soft drink market. Throughout their history, both companies have been known for their innovative and often daring marketing campaigns. Recently, they've been pulling out all the stops, with Coca-Cola launching its Share a Coke campaign, which saw the company replace its iconic logo with popular names on bottles and cans. Pepsi, not to be outdone, countered with its Pepsi Generation campaign, a nostalgic nod to its rich history while also looking forward to the future. But it's not just about marketing. Both companies have had to adapt to changing consumer tastes and trends. As more people become health-conscious and move away from sugary drinks, Coca-Cola and Pepsi have diversified their product lines. Coca-Cola launched Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, a zero-calorie drink that promises the same taste as the original, while Pepsi introduced Pepsi Zero Sugar and an array of non-carbonated beverages. It's also worth noting how both companies are using technology to their advantage. Coca-Cola has invested in AI and data analytics to predict consumer behavior and trends, while Pepsi has utilized virtual reality for immersive marketing experiences. And let's not forget the environmental aspect. Both companies have made commitments to reduce their environmental impact, with Coca-Cola aiming to collect and recycle the equivalent of every bottle or can it sells globally by 2030, and Pepsi pledging to make all its packaging recyclable, compostable, or biodegradable by the same year. The cola wars have certainly evolved, but the spirit of competition remains as intense as ever. Both Coca-Cola and Pepsi are continuously innovating, adapting, and pushing the boundaries to stay ahead. But the question remains, so who's winning the cola wars? That's up for you to decide. Whether you're a Coca-Cola lover or a Pepsi fan, there's no denying the impact these two companies have had on the beverage industry. From their humble beginnings to the behemoth corporations they are today, the tale of Coca-Cola and Pepsi is one steeped in innovation, rivalry, and of course, a whole lot of fizz. In our journey through the history of these carbonated titans, we've seen how a simple concoction in a pharmacy sparked a revolution. Coca-Cola, born in the late 19th century, was the brainchild of Dr. John Pemberton, who sought to create a unique and refreshing drink. Pepsi, on the other hand, was the outcome of Caleb Bradham's quest for a digestive aid that tasted good. The rivalry between these two was not just about quenching the thirst of millions, but it was also about shaping the beverage industry itself. The Cola Wars, as they're known, saw these two giants battle it out in the market, each trying to outdo the other with innovative marketing campaigns, unique selling propositions, and of course, the secret recipes. As we moved into the 21st century, both Coca-Cola and Pepsi adapted to the changing tastes and preferences of consumers, introducing an array of new products. Whether it was diet versions for the health-conscious or new flavors to tickle the palate, both companies consistently demonstrated their ability to evolve and stay relevant. Despite the intense competition, it's important to remember that both Coca-Cola and Pepsi have made significant contributions to the beverage industry. They've not only created products that people enjoy worldwide, but they've also set standards in marketing, product innovation, and corporate social responsibility. In the end, whether you reach for a Coca-Cola or a Pepsi, you're part of a story that spans over a century. A story of two beverages that have left an indelible mark on our taste buds and our culture. So next time you pop open a can of soda, remember the fascinating history behind every sip. And that's the fizz-filled history of Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Who would have thought that two deliciously sweet beverages could stir up such a riveting rivalry? It's been a journey through time, tasting the evolution of flavors and witnessing the marketing genius of both companies. Remember, history is not just about wars and politics. Sometimes it's about the bubbles dancing on your tongue and the chill of a cold can in your hand. So the next time you crack open a soda, think about the story behind it. I hope you've enjoyed this effervescent exploration as much as I have. If you're thirsty for more interesting videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And let's keep the conversation going. Are you Team Coca-Cola or Team Pepsi? Share your taste preference in the comments. Until next time, stay refreshed and keep exploring the history in every sip.